My father arranged a strategic marriage for me with a CEO. He stands 6 feet tall and is practically a ghost, never coming home. We've been married for nearly 6 months, and I can barely remember what he looks like. But the man is loaded. He drops $1 million monthly allowance into my account like clockwork. I am absolutely living for it. No husband to deal with and a fortune to spend life couldn't be better. I rolled home at 3 a.m., buzzing after a night out with my girls. I flipped the light switch, only to find a complete stranger sitting on my bed. He looked less than thrilled. "You're finally back," he said. Startled, I slammed the door shut and reached for my phone to call the police. From the other side of the door, a deep voice resonated. "Eve, don't tell me you've forgotten who I am." Liquid courage made me bold. I didn't care what he was saying. While fumbling with my phone, I screamed at the door, "I don't care who you are. You're dead. Breaking and entering, enjoy your time in prison, creep." "Eve, I'm your husband." "Wait, husband?" My brain cells fought through the alcohol fog for a quick meeting, and then it clicked. Oh, right. I actually have one of those. 2. You've been having quite the time while I've been away, haven't you? Nathan sat on the bed in dark silk pajamas, his long legs crossed. I couldn't help but notice how clean and elegant his feet looked. No. It was just a little get-together with the girls, and I just happened to catch you. Exactly. You have to believe me. I've been very busy being a loyal, lonely wife while you were gone. Yeah, right? Oh, is that so? Nathan pushed his glasses up with a long finger, a meaningful smirk playing on his lips. I've clearly been neglecting my wife. In that case, I think I'll start staying here from tomorrow on. What? No. That's not necessary. I panicked, waving my hands in protest. Nathan narrowed his eyes, his tone turning slightly predatory. Why? You don't want me back? Of course not. I forced a smile. It's just that the house is so far from your office. I'd hate for you to be exhausted from the commute. Well, if that's the case, pack your things tomorrow. You're moving in with me. My blood ran cold. How could such terrifying words come out of such a beautiful mouth? Was my perfect post-marriage life really ending this soon? 3. Nathan was adamant about the move. I couldn't win a direct confrontation, so I gave him a reluctant nod for now. After I finished my nighttime routine, I found him still awake. He patted the space beside him, signaling for me to get in. I offered an awkward smile and shuffled to the edge of the bed, lying down with every ounce of hesitation in my body. He killed the lights and pulled me into his arms. The scent of a man I barely knew enveloped me, and I went stiff as a board. We had shared a bed once on our wedding night, but he had been too drunk to function, and he was gone by the time I woke up. This was effectively the first time we were both conscious in the same bed. Nathan pressed closer, his face resting against my hair. "I'm sorry for ignoring you all this time," he whispered, his voice like silk. I didn't dare move, though I was screaming internally. "It's fine. Please keep ignoring me." I'm genuinely okay with it. After some deliberation, I decided to be honest. I poked his arm. "Listen, I get it. This marriage is just business. There's no love involved. I really don't mind you staying away. Truly, I'm very open-minded. I won't interfere with whatever you do out there, so you don't have to come back. I think things were great the way they were, don't you?" Nathan didn't answer. All I heard was the sound of his steady, deep breathing. Once I was sure he was out, I tried to reach for my phone to tell the girls I needed a plan to save my freedom. But his grip was too tight. I couldn't wriggle free. My movements must have stirred him because he pulled me even closer, his voice thick with sleep. "Be good. Stay still. I have an early meeting tomorrow." That low, lazy rasp was unfairly attractive. I nearly melted on the spot. I checked the time. It was after 4 a.m. Fine. I gave up and let sleep take over. 4. I had intended to have a real talk with him when I woke up, but I slept like the dead, and Nathan was long gone by the time I opened my eyes. A knocking at the door eventually roused me. I opened it to find a sharp, professional-looking woman. She tucked her phone away and introduced herself without a hint of emotion. "Good morning, Mrs. Grayson. I'm Nathan's secretary. He sent me to pack your belongings." "Hold on. Nobody told me about this. For specifics, please call Mr. Grayson personally. Get to work." With that command, a stream of movers flooded into the room, hauling my life away piece by piece. I was fuming at Nathan for deciding this for me and at this woman for touching my things without permission. I sat myself down firmly on my suitcase and yelled, "Put it down. If you want my stuff, you'll have to move me too." The secretary tilted her head, looking slightly confused for a second before turning to the workers. "Move her too." Unbelievable. 5. And that's how I ended up being delivered to Nathan's house by a moving company. Still in my pajamas, sitting on a suitcase, Nathan looked shocked when he walked in and saw the scene. I smoothed back my messy hair, stood up, and pinned him against the wall with a hand on his shoulder. "Look," I said, suppressing my rage. "We aren't in some cheesy romance novel. Don't you think you should ask for my opinion before doing something like this?" Nathan played the innocent card. "I want to live with my wife. Who would have an objection to that?" "That's not the point." "Do you have an objection?" See? No objections." He slipped away from my grip with ease. He was shameless. Absolutely shameless. While I was grinding my teeth, Nathan seemed to be in an excellent mood. He took off his jacket, and I caught an unexpected glimpse of his broad shoulders, narrow waist, and the muscles straining against his shirt sleeves. I choked on my own spit. The man was unfairly fit. Nathan heard my coughing fit and turned back. "You okay?" I quickly averted my eyes from his back, covered my burning face, and bolted for the nearest bathroom. That physique in a suit, combined with his cold, ethereal face, the forbidden fruit vibe was off the charts. I had to stop looking before I lost my dignity. But a second later, Nathan let out a seductive chuckle. He undid 2 buttons of his shirt, stepped forward, and blocked my path with his arm against the wall. This was too much. I was just a simple young wife. I wasn't equipped for this. I shrank into his shadow like a frightened bird. What are you doing?" He leaned in, the fresh scent of his cologne hitting me. The pressure was so intense, I had to close my eyes. "What do you think I'm doing?" "Ah!" I shoved his arm aside and sprinted into the bathroom. As the door slammed, I heard him let out a soft, amused laugh. Kid? Kid? Who was he calling a kid? The nerve of this man. 6. I told my best friend, Maddie, what happened, and she laughed herself hoarse before deciding she had to take me out to see the world tonight. I agreed enthusiastically. Late that night, I waited until Nathan was sound asleep before carefully sliding out of his reach. I changed in the dark and grabbed my heels, ready to make my escape. But just as I reached the door, the living room lights flared on. I froze like a burglar caught red-handed. "Where are you going?" Nathan asked, his tone dangerous. You. Would you believe me if I said I was taking out the trash? Dressed like that? Nathan scanned me from head to toe, his gaze lingering on my legs. I tried to pull my short skirt down, but I caught a strange look in his eyes. It vanished as quickly as it appeared. He turned back toward the bedroom. "Get inside. Go to sleep." The way he said it felt ... suggestive, but it turned out I was overthinking. Sleep meant sleep. He didn't even try to hold me. I figured he was actually mad. When I told Maddie, she was unimpressed. "Your husband is broken." That made me wonder, was he actually broken? I briefly thought about testing him, but then realized if he wasn't broken, I'd be the one in trouble. Never mind. Maddie roasted me again. "He's that hot, and you can actually resist." "Eve, you're the one with the problem." I got annoyed and turned off my phone. 7. Nathan was gone again first thing in the morning. He might have kissed my cheek before leaving, because the sensation of stubble felt too real to be a dream. When I finally got up, the secretary was sitting in the living room working on her laptop. "Why are you here?" I asked. She gave me a perfect professional smile. Nathan told me to be here. For specifics, please call him personally. After getting ready to go out, I noticed she packed up her laptop and followed me. Are you leaving? I asked. Are you leaving? She countered. Does my leaving have anything to do with yours? I can only leave when you do. Fine. I got it. She was my babysitter. I called Nathan immediately. Nathan, what the hell? You're having me followed. He was clearly busy but still took the time to dodge the question. It's not surveillance, it's companionship. Gee, thanks. Because I'm so friendless that I need your staff to hang out with me. Tell her to go back. He must have heard the genuine anger in my voice. After a pause, he said, Fine, I understand. The secretary got a call shortly after. She nodded a few times and then turned to me. Nathan says I can leave in 2 hours. Why 2 hours? I found out when Nathan literally ran into the house to take over. He didn't want to leave me alone for a single second. I was starting to get worried. I texted Maddie. Help, I think my husband is a yander. Maddie actually took me seriously for once. Don't panic. I'm checking the forums for how to handle a yander husband right now. A bit later, she texted back. Good luck. Then another. This yander thing is trending. Can I turn your life into a web novel? Be a human being for once. I replied,